At first glance, Jennifer Hudson and Common appeared to be the perfect example of a mature and healthy relationship. Unlike many celebrity romances that seem rushed or driven by publicity, theirs felt genuine, calm, and built on a foundation of mutual respect. Fans admired them not because they constantly appeared in headlines, but because they seemed comfortable simply being together. Both Jennifer and Common had already experienced the highs and lows of life. They were no longer young stars trying to prove themselves to the world. Instead, they appeared to be two accomplished individuals who had learned valuable lessons from past heartbreaks and personal struggles. That history made their relationship feel different from the start. People believed they had finally found something real. Whenever they appeared together, there was a sense of peace between them. Their interviews felt natural. Their smiles seemed authentic. Common often spoke highly of Jennifer, praising not only her beauty but also her intelligence, faith, strength, and character. He described her as a remarkable woman and openly expressed admiration for who she was both personally and professionally. To the public, it looked like a love story built on trust and emotional maturity. But sometimes appearances can be deceiving. Behind the smiles and public admiration, subtle signs of trouble were beginning to emerge. At first, nobody paid much attention. Everything still looked perfect from the outside. Their public appearances remained polished, and neither of them gave any indication that anything was wrong. Yet beneath the surface, questions were slowly beginning to form. The first signs came in the form of quiet rumors. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that could be immediately verified. Just whispers circulating among fans and entertainment observers. Initially, most people dismissed them. After all, every celebrity relationship attracts speculation. However, as time passed, those rumors became harder to ignore. What made the situation more intriguing was that some people began noticing patterns that seemed familiar to anyone who had followed Common's relationship history over the years. For decades, Common has carefully cultivated an image of wisdom, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. Through his music, interviews, and public appearances, he often spoke about personal growth, healing, spirituality, and becoming a better partner. His words resonated with many people. He came across as someone who had done the difficult work of understanding himself. He seemed thoughtful, reflective, and deeply connected to the idea of healthy relationships. Because of this, many viewed him as one of the more emotionally mature figures in the entertainment industry, but when people began looking back at his past relationships, some started seeing a different story. Over the years, Common has been romantically linked to several highly successful and influential women. These were women known for their strength, independence, and accomplishments. They were women who understood their worth and weren't afraid to walk away from situations that no longer served them. Yet despite the promise surrounding many of these relationships, most of them eventually came to an end. One of the most notable relationships from his past was with singer and songwriter Erykah Badu. Their connection appeared deep and meaningful. Many fans believed they shared a rare bond rooted in creativity, spirituality, and mutual understanding. For a time, they seemed inseparable. However, the relationship eventually ended, leaving behind questions that were never fully answered. While neither side publicly revealed every detail, speculation persisted regarding compatibility, commitment, and emotional consistency. Then came his relationship with actress Taraji P. Henson. Once again, fans were excited. It seemed like another pairing with enormous potential. Both were respected figures in entertainment, and many believed they could build something lasting together. Unfortunately, that relationship also ended. As before, there were no major scandals dominating the headlines, but there remained lingering questions about why such promising relationships consistently failed to survive long-term. Later came Tiffany Haddish. Unlike some of his previous relationships, Tiffany was extremely open about her feelings. She spoke publicly about how much she cared for Common and how invested she was in the future they were building together. From her perspective, the relationship appeared serious and meaningful. When the romance ended, Tiffany didn't hide her disappointment. She openly discussed the emotional impact the breakup had on her. At the time, some people dismissed her comments as the natural reaction of someone dealing with heartbreak. Others believed she might have been exaggerating. But years later, some observers began revisiting those interviews with a different perspective. What if there was more to the story? What if certain patterns had been present all along? These questions became even more relevant when Jennifer Hudson entered the picture. Unlike many celebrity couples who meet and immediately begin dating, Jennifer and Common already had a history. They had known each other for years before becoming romantically involved. Their connection wasn't built overnight. It developed gradually through familiarity, friendship, and trust. That made the relationship feel especially authentic. Jennifer appeared genuinely happy. She looked comfortable, relaxed, and secure in a way that fans appreciated. For many supporters, seeing her smile again carried special significance because they understood how much she had endured throughout her life. Jennifer's journey has never been easy. She experienced immense personal tragedy that forever changed her perspective on life. She also endured a difficult and highly publicized separation from former fiancé David Otunga, a relationship that involved legal disputes and emotional challenges. Those experiences naturally made her more cautious. When someone has faced that level of pain, trust becomes incredibly valuable. Every relationship decision carries greater weight. Every person allowed into their inner circle must earn that privilege. That is why many people believed Common's presence in her life was meaningful. Jennifer appeared to trust him completely. She seemed to believe that he represented stability, maturity, and emotional security. And for a period of time, there was no reason to think otherwise. The couple maintained a relatively private approach to their relationship. They didn't constantly seek attention or flood social media with displays of affection. Instead, they seemed content enjoying each other's company away from excessive public scrutiny. Fans loved that balance. They looked like two mature adults who had finally found peace after years of searching. But sometimes the most unexpected heartbreaks begin quietly. There are no dramatic warning signs. No public arguments. No obvious clues. Instead, small cracks begin forming beneath the surface while the world continues believing everything is fine. And according to growing speculation, that may have been exactly what was happening here. As whispers started resurfacing, some sources began suggesting that the relationship was not as stable as it appeared. Initially, most people refused to believe it. Jennifer and Common seemed too grounded, too experienced, and too committed to repeat the mistakes of the past. Yet the rumors continued growing. And before long, those whispers would evolve into a story that nobody expected, one that would completely change the public perception of their relationship and raise difficult questions about whether history was repeating itself once again. To be continued.